Which industry would create more jobs? Jobs in green manufacturing or jobs in the military-industrial complex? Studies have shown that jobs in the green manufacturing industry would create by far more jobs for the American people. Between 2000 and 2017, over 5.5 million jobs have been lost in the manufacturing sector in the U.S. alone, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Americans need work. Americans need jobs that keep them secure and provide for their well-being. At the same time, we are suffering from human-made climate change. If the environment dies, we die. In addition, the U.S. also has the largest military budget in the world. But there is one solution to all of these problems: create more jobs in the green economy. Green manufacturing creates more jobs than defense spending. From every $1 billion that we shift from defense to green manufacturing, we create a net increase of over 2,000 jobs. $1 billion of spending creates 6,900 jobs in combination with solar and wind energy industries. If the U.S. shifted just $1.25 billion from defense spending to green manufacturing, an additional 250,000 jobs will be created. Thus, funding green activities instead of a bloated military budget would be a new job creator. If we reduced military spending by $300 billion, which is the average that we have spent annually from 2001 to 2019 on the global war on terror, we would create over 600,000 jobs in green manufacturing and related industries. Prime age workers, especially those with less than a high school or college degree, would most benefit from this increase in green manufacturing activity. And if you're worried that a decrease in military spending would make the U.S. less secure, that's false. Even research from the Sustainable Defense Task Force, which is a bipartisan group of experts from academia, think tanks, government, and retired members of the military, has found that we could reduce military spending by $1.25 trillion over the next 10 years and still defend the United States and its strategic interests. There are 4 main recommendations that we can take from the Sustainable Defense Task Force: reducing active duty personnel by 10%, reducing unnecessary procurement or nuclear programs, eliminating the proposed Space Force program, and reducing overhead expenses by cutting back on some private contracts. Over the next decade, $1.25 billion per year could be saved and used elsewhere in the federal budget while still maintaining security. Meanwhile, the Congressional Budget Office estimates that on our current course, the national debt will increase by more than $10 trillion over the next decade. In the Congressional Budget Office's 2018 report, they identified various saving measures, including up to nearly $1 trillion reduced military spending, or $100 billion per year for the next 10 years. Reducing military spending gives the people options. Even the New York Times identified that $300 billion in annual saving from defense costs could be used to fully fund a Medicare for All proposal. Meanwhile, in the presidential debates, there have been 21 questions about paying for social programs and 0 about paying for war. In the words of the Cost of War Project, when we consider the various forms of security that are a priority for the U.S. today, we should acknowledge that military protection is only one piece of what makes us feel secure. And if we don't arrest it, climate change is certainly to make all Americans insecure.